I feel like a lot of us forget why we do what we do. I feel like a lot of us forget what makes us who we are because we get distracted by things that we're told matter. And I'm not saying that having like a job doesn't matter or chasing a career doesn't matter or, accruing, accruing your finances doesn't matter. But I mean, like, I think a lot of us forget the attributes that make us who we are, the attributes that create the foundation of our dreams and our goals, and the attributes and the character traits of us that create our sense of home and our sense of peace and our sense of self. I think a lot of us forget that as we try to navigate life, we try to pick up and learn from other people and our mistakes, and we end up sacrificing parts of ourselves. We end up sacrificing parts of ourselves that at one point we viewed as intrinsic, and we don't sacrifice them on purpose. It's not a purposeful thing. A lot of times it's an unconscious decision. So I feel like a lot of times the danger of that is we get so far away from ourselves and from the traits that made us who we were. We get so far away from that we when we try to go back to who we were, that version of ourselves is twisted because it's so far in the past. It's so many iterations of ourselves behind that we can no longer reach it. And at that point, that's where life takes on one of its most important lessons, which is there's a song there where it says, "You can't bring it back, but you can make it last." And this is one of life's lessons. And the lesson is when you've lost something near and dear to you, be it a part of yourself, or something tangible, and you weren't aware of it, or maybe you were aware of it, but you weren't aware of the worth it had at the time that you lost it. And you go through life, you continue through life. When you want to go back to it, and you realize that you don't even know what you're trying to go back to, you have two options, right? You can, you know, punch a wall, and try to bring back what once was, right? You can try to restore, this version of you that you believe is what you want to be, or you can accept your humanity. You can accept that this part of you is gone, but you now have an opportunity to create something new, and you can accept that possibility. When you accept that possibility, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good in the moment, but when you learn to live with it, when you learn to sit with this possibility, you learn to appreciate the power that you've been given to write your own destiny. I talked about that in the last video, where you're at this crossroad on your journey and you want to become this person, and you want to become this person, and you want to hold on to these traits that made you who you are, but you lost track of them so long ago, and you're not even sure if this is what you wanted to be when you lost it, or this is what you had when you lost it. You're not even sure of either of these things. And so you sit with this, you ruminate and you mull it over in your head. And you question yourself. You say, is this really who I am? Am I really this person? Are these the traits that I wanted? And you come to your conclusion, right? But I would say I feel like 9 times out of 10 that the conclusion stems from, I'm gonna try to be the person that I once was, no matter what. And that's noble. That's, a beautiful thing, but it's not realistic a lot of times. And it's not fair to yourself or to your journey. You gave up these parts of yourselves. You lost these parts of yourselves. And I'm using these terms liberally, so I don't mean these with, you know, the intent of it's over, but I mean like these are parts of yourselves you misplaced and you've outgrown a lot of them. You've outgrown a lot of the character traits, that you had maybe 3, 4 years ago, right? That you loved then, your sense of humor that you had 4 years ago, you loved it and it was such an integral part of you, and you lost it on your journey. I would argue, I feel like a lot of times you didn't lose it, you simply outgrew it and it transformed, or you transformed out of it. And now something else is here to take its place. Some other trait of yours is beginning to blossom, some other trait of yours is beginning to show its fruit, but you don't want to nurture this new plant. You want the old plant that served its time. You want the old plant that, ran its course. You want that old fruit. And so you sit there and, you fight with yourself. How do I get this back? I have so many fond memories attached to when I was this person before XYZ. How do I go back to this person? And, again, you're going back and forth, you're trying your best to, recreate, you know, you're trying to capture lightning in a bottle, so to speak, lightning never strikes the same place twice. It's like that, that version of you is gone. That version of you is gone. It served its purpose. It has its chapter in your life, but that chapter's over. It may resurface in the future, but right now it's gone. And the longer that you spend trying to bring that back, trying to go back to the past and resurrect this part of yourself, the longer that you try to do that, the less time that you have the version of yourself that's blossoming in front of you, and the less opportunities you have to try to nurture it and its potential. So you have, again, two paths in front of you. You have the path of the past, which is, I'm going to bring back these beautiful parts of me. Noble. I applaud you. If you want to pursue that, go pursue that. Because again, life, I can't give you the steps to life. No man can. We all walk a different path. Your destiny may lie in the past for all I know, but what I feel in my experience is that whenever I try to bring back something that I loved about myself, I run into roadblocks, right? Because that part of myself was formed with in a different environment, with a different mindset. All sorts of factors were different, and I can't recreate that, in a lab, so to speak. It was organic. But now here I am in the present, and I'm just focused on, oh, what I once had. Oh, this is, I want this back. I want this back. And there's all this in front of me that I could be using with this headspace that I fought for so hard with that old, mentality. And here's the fruit of my labor right here in the present. The fruit of my labor is right here in the present, and I'm looking in the past. Looking in the past for comfort. Looking in the past when I thought things were easier. And that's the danger of nostalgia and whatnot. It can blur reality. But you look in the past for these versions of yourself, these iterations of yourself that you can never truly bring back. They are always a part of you. You can make it last, but you cannot bring it back. And again, the present is where potential is. That is where the truth is. This is where you can move forward. This is where you can, create something new. This is where you can truly honor your past in the present. Because all that work you did in the past to get to now is so that you can be now, so that you can work and live in the now, so that you can maneuver through the now. It's not so that you can look fondly on the work that you did in the past and, oh, look how hardworking I was in the past, and look how kind I was in the past, and look at all this and all these character traits I had in the past. No, all those character traits, the effort, et cetera, got you to where you are now. So appreciate that. Appreciate yourself's work. You're doing two things. You're appreciating yourself and yourself's work because you got yourself here. You know, you survived, you endured whatever trials and tribulations you went to, and you reached this present. So be present and focus on the fruit in front of you. I'm not saying this to bark orders like, there's nothing in the past worth looking for. Of course there are. Especially when a lot of us are on paths where we've completely lost track of ourselves. A lot of times we need to look back in the past because there are character traits in ourselves. There are parts of ourselves that we should nurture for as long as we can. We should hold on for as long as we can. If you were a child with a strong sense of justice and a moral compass, you should foster that and hold on to it. And if you lost it, you certainly should try to look forward and rekindle that. But your focus shouldn't always be in the past. Your focus shouldn't always be about the things that you had, the person that you were. It should be about who am I now? Who will I become? Who do I have the opportunity to mold myself into? And I feel like a lot of us don't appreciate just how much power we have right now because of everything that we've done in the past, because of everything that we are doing in the present, what we have right now. And the sooner we appreciate that, the better off we are. The sooner we realize that everything we did in the past was just part of the process, was part of the journey. That right now, this fruit that you have in front of you, everything that you have in front of you right now, all of that, that is what will make you great. That is what will make you what you want to be. You've looked in the past enough, you've felt these old wounds enough to the point where you've matured, that you've made peace with, these past iterations of yourself. You put them in the correct perspective where you can look at them without judging them, and you can also view yourself in the present. So be in the present and learn to appreciate this present fruit that you have, because this tree has been blossoming and you've taken care of it through your past endeavors. And you did it so that you could have this tree in front of you at all times, this tree that bears fruit in the present. So appreciate it, take care of it, look at it, look at this tree that you have in front of you, this gift of potential right here, this hard fought potential. Appreciate it and appreciate yourself for getting yourself here. And once you do that, once you've appreciated the present, once you've appreciated its gift, once you've put the past work in your perspective that took you to this present, then you can look forward. And when you can look forward, then you can look backwards. And I'm telling you, is when you can look forward truly, you can look backwards and it won't swallow you up anymore. Nostalgia does not harm you anymore when you can look forward with perspective, right? But there's steps to this, right? Too many of us, we fought for the present, either knowingly or unknowingly. We've healed our traumas, gone to therapy, we've moved ourselves from toxic environments, we've done the work and we've made it to the present. Hooray. And now we're looking in the past again, though, because we're tired. And the nostalgia feels good. It reminds us, it says, oh, I did it. We get stuck on I did it because I did it feeds us the past glories that got us to where we are now. And we forget that the point is to be here now. Take the time to appreciate what got you here, yes, but do not spend all of your time appreciating what got you here. Be here. Be here. Be here. Right here. Just be here. You've appreciated your work to get you here, so be here. Right? Nostalgia is a great thing, but it has its place, and it's had its place, so be here right now. So that then you can look to the future. And when you've looked to the future again, then you can look back in the past and you'll have the whole story from front to back, right? Because it's about breathing, learning, growing. It's about all of these things. It's about the process. It's not about the outcome, you know. You can look at the outcome, but it's not about it. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of us forget why we fought so hard. Because the past, its allure is so strong for so many reasons. And there's nothing wrong with the past, but I feel like a lot of us forget that the gift is the present. The past has its lessons that we can learn from. History has its lessons that we can learn from, but the present is the gift, not the past, not the future, but the present. That's what always makes the future and the past is right now. That's a hard thing to remember, truthfully, and I have a lot of compassion for myself now with this because when you daydream a lot, if you're a daydreamer, the past becomes your friend. You think about all these wonderful times. Your mind, takes these memories and stirs them up and makes them more grandiose than they were. And you feed yourself this. You think it's harmless, but after a while, you've just been locked in a loop of adoring the past. But you forget, hey, here's this tree and its fruit that you painstakingly fought for. Here it is. Here's the present. Here's the gift of the present. Now, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to look around it, see what tree could grow next? Are you going to look behind it to see the trees that you already grew? Or are you going to look at what you have right now? What's right in front of you? Yeah, that one was, I enjoyed talking about that one. I got another video coming tomorrow, back to back. Repeating. I got another video coming tomorrow. Um, this heat is insane. I'm telling y'all, man. This heat wave in the States is crazy. I don't think I've had a summer this hot in my life. So, that climate change they talking about. But, y'all stay safe out here. I appreciate y'all viewing my videos. You know, once again, I really, this camera, me and this camera really rocking. So like I'm not gonna, I'm rocking with this camera. So, but again, obviously, I'm gonna let life do its thing. I'm not gonna hold on to what I don't need to hold on to. But yeah, peace and love to everybody. Y'all enjoy yourselves. Y'all have a good time. Y'all be good to yourselves too. Be good to yourself. Please be good to yourself. Be good to yourself.